Hey everybody, it's Robert here, your friendly neighborhood grip, or Riptusk, or the big guy, depending on who you ask and when. Welcome to Act 2, Chapter 45. Thank you all so much for joining us. And a big thank you. We hit a huge milestone a week or so ago. We hit 10,000 downloads of the Dark Nexus podcast. So thank you to everybody who has listened, who has told a friend. We're thrilled. We really are a little beside ourselves to hit that mark. So thank you. Please enjoy Act 2, Chapter 45.
Welcome back to Dark Nexus. Tonight, it's Act 2, Chapter 45. It is the morning of the 5th day of Neth. We have slept overnight. All was quiet on the ship, and no noticeable sounds of screaming terror or mayhem emerged from the town of Thrushmoor over the course of the evening. It is the early morning. We have just woken up from our dreams of God, and God dreaming dreams of us. Everybody got your 5th level sheets?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right. What is the plan for today?
I wanted to throw something out real quick, which is maybe we do one more downtime activity in the morning so that I could have a masterwork weapon, and then we go forth, unless people are like, no, I really have something that I want to do right now in the morning into the afternoon.
Dora can't quite see past her disease in the morning, so
yes.
She's up for whatever anyone wants.
I would also be, obviously, helping you.
We do need to make some rolls, don't we?
Why don't we start with those? Maybe that'll determine what we're going to do. So I assume, Johnny, that Roni overnight will be providing the treat disease use?
Yes.
We also have sanity damage, right?
That only goes away with a full day of rest.
Or counseling.
Or counseling.
So that could be something that
That
people
could
with
be a
sanity
downtown activity for sure.
could certainly be spending. Well, then I will...
Some of us are at greater risk than others of taking more damage and being disabled by it.
What are you talking about? Why is everyone looking at me?
Well, I'm going to prepare some extracts.
Well, if that's the case, can Grip have some time with Tolman? If Roni's going to do some crafting.
That is certainly something you could do for sure.
Can more than one of us sit with Holman and we have like a group session?
Group therapy. There'll be donuts and coffee.
Okay. I'm not gonna fight with that at the moment.
He lucked out on a lot of rolls before, so I don't know.
He's very good at what he does, I guess.
There is a psychometry reading from Act 1 that I want to get some more information from, that if we could, since we've re-leveled, we could maybe try that again, if that's something that you'd be willing to do.
All right, well, let's start with the heal. We'll see what state Dora's in as we begin the day.
Yeah.
So Gull has...
Who?
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
So Roni has mixed up some extracts and drinks one.
So this heal check you would have made the previous day.
Oh, I would have made it yesterday?
Yes.
Well, I had one left over then for
Great.
yesterday, which I literally had written it down on the last sheet, one open one, so that was spent yesterday
Love
then to do this. All right, so heal check. Let's see what we get. Oh my gosh. A 30.
Whoa.
It's just gone, right? It's just cured.
No, but you do get that +4 bonus on your save.
Wow.
Fantastic. All right.
Good, 'cause
Yeah,
that's
Roni
the only
is
bonus I get.
Roni is in the zone as he's healing folks that night.
Wait, if you beat that by a lot, did you get a special thing?
No special thing.
No special thing. That's amazing. That's awesome.
That's it. +4, that's what I got.
+4. So this is the check being made the next morning to see if Dora can pull herself out of the weakened state.
I got a 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm definitely going to use an action point.
No, you definitely would not.
I wouldn't?
Nope.
Great.
Because you are no longer weakened.
Yay! Awesome.
If you're no longer fatigued and sickened, you are back at the latent stage. Got 2 saves more to get out of that.
I have already made 2 in a row. I had to make 2 more?
Yeah, because you're not healthy.
Jesus. Bah!
Yeah, welcome to Johnny's
this.
life in Act
Yeah.
1.
All right, well, at least now I have a +2 bonus to my 4th save.
So, overnight, in addition to leveling up and feeling more powerful and experienced, Dora does wake up. She's not fully well, but she is no longer mechanically impaired, no longer feeling sick and tired from the filth fever. Woohoo! Yay! We have some things we need to make spellcraft checks on, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. But I don't know what I'm spell checking.
All right. We have an unidentified ring from the Tatterman that I am wearing.
Unidentified ring from the Tatterman. 26 spellcraft check.
It's a ring of protection +1. Very, very nice. It'll provide a +1 deflection bonus to AC.
Who do we want to have wear it? What's everybody's armor class? Since I am now trying to be further away,
I'm at 21 currently.
I'm generally in favor of loading up the tanks with as many items as we can get.
I am also
on the front end.
I am
right?
also in favor of that.
My AC is 20.
To me, it's a toss-up between the two of you, since Grip has so many fucking hit points to spare, and you're in melee slightly less frequently. So to me, that's a toss-up. Roll for it.
What's yours at?
My AC is 20.
I mean, the one of the two of you should have it either to keep you alive so you keep the rest of us alive,
Yeah.
or keep you from getting hit less so
Let's do
that
a
you
roll-off.
keep us alive.
Okay. Good old-fashioned
Are
roll-off.
you wearing any rings currently?
I am not wearing a ring.
Nor am I. All right. 5.
I rolled an 8.
Wear it in good fucking health then.
Thank you.
Okay, what else do we have?
We have the magic armor,
Magic armor.
The wooden armor?
Spellcraft check.
wooden magic armor.
That's an 11. I rolled a 2.
Anything else?
I think that's honestly it. I don't think there is anything else.
Great. All right, so we've got one item identified. We've got Dora feeling adventuresome, fit and fiddle like, fit and fiddle adjacent. How about that?
Fit and fiddle-esque.
Easy for you
Fiddle-esque
to
is
say.
fun to say.
So we're thinking about a little bit of group counseling with Tolman while Roni works on his pistol.
Alchemical torch to you, sir.
Works while Roni works on his alchemical torch, sir.
I love this going into group therapy.
Hello. My name is
Grip and
Grip.
Ryan, Dora.
I've got anger issues.
Would it?
Whatever happens, don't say the name.
Dora, before you go in
Yes.
to speak with Tolman, before all of you go in to speak with Tolman,
You're coming in too.
I don't really need to speak to Tolman about anything, I think.
No sanity damage, you?
Everybody has 3 points of sanity
we all
damage.
have it.
Three
Too.
points in-
I thought it was 2.
You got
3.
2 on top of the one you already
Well,
had.
before we go in,
Why did I already have 1?
Everybody left with 1. Everybody's at 3 right now.
Got it.
Before we go in to speak with Tolman, Dora, when you looked at the Morning Star for me, you remembered a story
About a man,
about a man who gave this to me.
Mrs. Van Houten.
Yeah. Do you, now that we're here in Thrushmore, can you place where that took place? Can you figure out where that happened?
Well, I've only been to the book layer and to the sleepless agency and the fish mart, but
You've seen this town. The place where that vision took place was not this town. It was a very, very big city
Rosenport.
with no even recognizable similarities in architecture. Do you have knowledge local?
No. I could.
I have knowledge local.
You didn't see what Doris saw.
That's true. It was just
This
described.
is very important to you, Ray.
I assumed that it took place in Thrushmore, where I assumed I was the new priest that Van Horten mentioned.
Seemed a much bigger city.
Okay.
Paul, does Ray share any information about the other dreams he had? I think he kept to himself the walking down the Market Street dream. There's still the dream about waking up in the city and following the chain that you used to strangle yourself with that I don't know that he's brought up.
Yeah, that's not fresh in my memory right now to riff on.
So in this dream,
Yeah.
you were in a giant city filled with slaves and chains. And you were one of these, you were both a slave and a chain holder. And you strangled and murdered multiple versions of yourselves while multiple versions of yourselves strangled and murdered you. But it was a big city. Like, as you reflect back on that, it was not tiny little Thrushmore. It was in a different kind of place entirely.
Was it Paris?
It was not Paris.
Was it the Paris of Galarian?
Polarian?
Absolutely.
Garrus.
Okay, so so Dora mentions the big city, and Ray's kind of baffled by it being not what he expected to hear, and then he remembers this dream about the large city where he was pulling a chain attached to his neck, and there were multiple of him in this large city. The vision of that dream comes back to him, and he takes a step back. Thank you, Dora.
I could ask. There is someone I could ask.
Who?
Tima.
Oh, right.
She's not very forthcoming, but
Well, let's do let's go talk to Tolman first.
all right. Translation: I have a once-a-day ability to make a knowledge check on something I'm not trained in,
Oh,
because Tima might know something about it.
Oh.
I don't have a bonus to it. It's just my intelligence bonus, but
Sure.
it's not nothing.
yeah, that just seems like, I don't know, just Ray's not feeling like he wants to ask that of Tima right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So we go down below decks and circle up with Tolman and the kids. I love it.
Just like old times.
I really love it.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to allow a group therapy here, but we'll do it today. We'll do it today because I'm feeling generous. Okay.
I'm not trying to push back, but I am honestly curious why it would be why not?
Instead of relying only on your own strength or personality to reduce the effects of sanity damage, you can seek out a single confidant or advisor.
Fair enough.
So this is a grace period. Today, we do a group. From here on forward, the effects of group therapy won't help.
If you don't want to do it, let's
No,
not
I
do
think
it.
it's fine for today. We're sort of bridging the time period between one state of being and another state
I
of
feel
being.
like this is an ability check, and it's really hard, and we've been really lucky with him making the rolls anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, it's gotta fail sometime.
Yeah, it's gonna fail sometime. Grip, it does not work on you.
It's our quack science anyway.
Dora, it does not work on you. Ray, are you participating in the therapy?
Yes.
You get a lot out of the therapy. Like, as if 2 points of sanity damage were reduced. Maybe he spends a lot of time and energy on probing Ray about his decision to forsake all gods.
It's the problem with group, though. Someone's going to dominate the conversation every week.
That's what
you know.
happens. That's what happens.
I'm not really worried about me.
I don't understand the
I am-
question. I'm not going to respond to it.
Terrifically worried about Grip.
And then Johnny, Roni settles down with his equipment
Yep.
to work on his pistol. Is he doing this?
No, I think he does it. I think he grabs Bates. I think he grabs Bates because Bates was really helpful before,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Come here, kid. I need your help on this," and grabs him, and he's actually going to take him to the bookbinders.
Both of Johnny's characters go to the bookbinders. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of nervousness from a bunch of the survivors at the sight of you two all going off alone. Like maybe even Den would step up and say, "Look, I don't know how far you're going, but you need someone else to keep an eye on you.
Yeah, sure.
Sounds like a dangerous town.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let me get my shit."
Get your shit.
He gets his shit, which consists of his own filthy sack.
Well, in that case, Grip and Barnabas are going to go have a picnic.
You're doing.
I'm in group.
You're in group. You're in group. So you head down to the book layers, and you're able to set up your kit there and get to work on your gun over the course of the rest of the morning here, with Bates helping you out and Denman keeping an eye out on the road for you, coming in and out, checking out with interest what you're doing, and he's going to hang out with you for that period of time.
Great. While he's there, and in the midst of stuff, and actually, I think that Bates would be able to kind of start to like pick it up and be like, "Oh yeah, no, I see how this goes." It starts to, here, I got part of this, and can I do some of it, Mr. Gull?
What does your character say to the other character?
This is great radio, Mr. Gull.
Does your character say yes?
Yes.
Very good.
You're so handsome, Mr. Gull.
I do think that he doesn't correct him when he calls him Mr. Gull. He just leaves that be.
Great.
He's not going to try to talk to this kid about all this other stuff.
And all joking aside, as we do envision this scene, we should envision Bates possessing an abnormal level of skill and understanding with the work that he's doing on this alchemical torch, as though he has very carefully noted and studied the toy version that Gull gave him, and has been watching every free second the way Gull, now Roni, carries the torch, uses the torch, loads the torch, cleans it, takes it apart, that sort of fanatic, obsessive behavior of cleaning, taking out the tools and dealing with it. And Bates has picked up a lot of information about how to operate these.
Yep. But while we're here, Roni will also reach out to Denman and go, "Hey, so you're Varisian, right?"
Yeah, that I am.
I guess I didn't know this, but I guess I'm Varisian too.
You certainly have the look of a Varisian.
What's that?
I said you have the look of a Varisian, though I did note,
Varisian? It's
Yeah.
not Varisian?
No, Varisia.
Varisia.
I'm a Varisian.
Varisian.
A bloodline. We come from Varisia.
Varisia.
I'm surprised to hear you expressing interest, honestly, because,
No.
Well, you cut off your tattoos, man. And you gave away your family blade. This would seem to indicate to me you kind of want to take a shit on our culture.
I don't really know anything about our culture.
Look, the tattoos are very important. And he lifts up his shirt, and he has this intricately designed series of feathers tattooed all across his stomach and chest in this, it's not a spiral, but kind of a swirling shape. Again, like hundreds and hundreds of feathers. It's a big part of the thing,
What is it, what does it mean?
Well,
I'm not fucking with you. I really don't know.
Well, you see all these feathers, each one of these. Look, it tells a story. They all tell a story. And each one of these feathers represents a time in my life when somebody wronged me. Now, I picked this up from my ma. And she's the one, she was deep in, I think, her family was Scani, and I think she's...
Scani?
Give me a knowledge local check.
23.
Roni recognizes that as the Scarni are basically a a loose collection of Verizian crime families. Think like the mob. A whole bunch of outfits gathered around typically some sort of charismatic family member or friend who acts as a crime lord in the west of Verizia, which is to the west of where you all currently are right now, in the center of the continent. They are, crime outfits, mob bosses, into robbery, pickpocketing, confidence schemes, generally targeting only non-Verizians, but there are wide expanses of levels of crime, depravity, and intentionality behind them.
Got it.
Yeah, so she was deep into that stuff, and I got this from her. And I think in her case, she saw her feathers as a it's a choice to be made, right? Like, you can see these feathers as like these wrongs that are done to you. You see them as something light with no weight, things that can't affect you, things you can step on. Or you can also see them as a collection of experiences that, when placed together, make you stronger and more powerful and can lift you up. Ever since I've been at the asylum, they've been telling me to stop making these tattoos, that my obsession with them might be the seed of my problem. I don't know, man. Like, they were trying to erase my story here. This fucking matters to me. So I don't know what your triangles were, man, but they were telling some story about your life, about your experiences. And that shit's gone now. Just like your blade. You walk in a room with a sword like that. You say something to people. You say, I fight fucking fast and dirty, because that's a Verizian blade. And you also say, maybe I'm fucking scrawny. Maybe I'm fucking scrawny. That's what I thought when I first saw you.
I don't know how much you know about, me and the other guys, the four of us. But as far as we're concerned, we were born 12 days ago. We don't know anything that happened before that. As we're slowly starting to learn more about ourselves, I found out that there was a time when I didn't have those tattoos, when I didn't have those triangles. And
how young were you?
Teenager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my choices started getting taken away from me then. So all those triangles, all that stuff, it wasn't me. It was somebody else.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I don't know either, man.
I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. And I really appreciate you coming to help so that I could learn more about this.
All right. I'm gonna go look out on the street now. It's a lot of conversation.
I
get feelings when I start talking.
Denman.
I'm with you, yeah.
You could also think about those feathers. They're like the story of your mom. Where she's embracing you. She loves you. Every single one of those feathers is another little bit of love that she leaves you with in this world.
Look, my ma took my brothers and fucking left us. She went out west. I don't know. She went to Riddleport. She went to Magnamar. It was just me and my dad and my sister. And we came here looking for a better life. Ustalov. What a great fucking better life this is. I don't know. I know my ma loved me. And I know my ma meant to pass on what was important to her to me. It's real hard for me to think about her without anger. But yeah, all right. I hear you. I've learned how to listen. God, these fucking days.
When we finish making getting the alchemical torch all worked up, you want to fire it once?
Hell yeah.
All right.
You have a masterwork pistol.
Nice.
Ooh.
I think Johnny should make a check to reduce Denman's sanity.
Sanity.
It misfires and takes 2 of Denman's fingers.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow, look at that. Attack bonus +9. I love it.
Actually, a real attack bonus for once.
Wow.
And that's before study target.
All right. So let's see what else can we wrap on the ship before we go. Anything else that anyone wants to talk to before we head out?
Did we want to mention to Vostin the thing about the knife?
Oh, yes.
Because he should not be going out with that.
I thought that person from the Sleepless Agency was going to go talk to him.
I think Roni indicated he wanted to talk to him first.
Oh, okay.
Just want to give him a heads up.
Yeah. So you can give him the heads up. And at this point, Johnny, I think mechanically speaking, we kind of, since there was no money to be had in book 1, we kind of we're accepting 100 gold piece payment for this feat retraining by means of borrowing items. But since we actually have money now, I think it would probably occur to Gull to actually pay him in exchange for these. And Winter was important to him, and he understands that if there's actually somebody from Winter's life who wants this weapon back, he's gonna have no problem with that at all.
Do you want me to deliver it, or do you want to deliver it?
Well, this feels like your business. I don't want to be caught in the middle of this.
All right.
And he is carrying your blade. Do you want to ask for that back? He has been paid now for his services.
I do, yeah.
Okay. He passes back the black rapier with the rose-handled hilt, which does, as we know, carry psychic significance.
Yes.
We learned that 40
there are
odd chapters ago.
Several things that I'm still carrying that have psychic
Yes.
significance
Oh, yeah.
that, when we have time, will be something that I would like to ask Dora about.
So what do we want to tackle today? We could also, if we wanted to, if your plan is to do a reading at some point today before you leave, Katie, that could happen as well, or we could save it for the end of the day. However you see you want to spend the day.
I don't have a plan for a reading today.
Okay.
Oh. I mean, I would certainly... Although, I remember having a thought that there was a place that we might be going to, but you would... never mind.
Save it for a place, just to save it in case?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I mean, she briefly entertained doing it at one of the Stella Stones, but then we found out it was an artifact, and she was like, no, let's skip it.
Yeah.
What are we doing today?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Well, I've got the Pier 19 possibility, which might lead us further up the plans of what Melisande and I were possibly doing, and continue to unravel that. Or we could
check in at the Sleepless Agency and
check
see
in,
if
see
the
if there's
city
anything
Rents
else.
has anything for us.
See if there's if we want to go to. We could also do a thing and literally go to Iris Hill. We haven't gone there.
At some point, I'm going to have to go to the fort, I expect, too.
It's true.
Dora is not crazy about going to Iris Hill until we have something concrete to do there.
Even a scouting trip, you want to just save it until you know what your intention is?
She would bump it to the bottom of the list.
Got it.
It's a potent place for Tima, and their relationship is tenuous right this second. And she just feels
Yeah.
We could also
nervous about it.
go to the Whaling House. That would be a place where one could gain information if we wanted to go there.
Give me those of you for whom it's not a waste of time, give me a diplomacy check.
A diplomacy check?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
22.
Great. So when since you bring up Pier 19, I'm assuming you've brought it up to the other characters.
Yeah.
Great.
These are all things that
We're discussing.
that Roni is bringing up and mentions. I got this information.
Fantastic.
from Calderin and
So as these morning activities are going on, Maybe you mentioned it before you headed out to upgrade your pistol. Doris had a little bit of time after the counseling session. A little asking around. It's pretty easy to determine where Pier 19 would be located based on the numbering of the piers. And it's very close. Basically, if you head back to town and you take a left at the book layers, it's right down in that dirty, grimy, it's like that, there's a pier at the end of that dirty, grimy neighborhood. It's called Worm's Hook locally. And it's, what's the deal with it? Oh, right. There were a series of grisly murders there at some point in the last year. That's why it's called Worm's Hook.
I think after seeing the exchange at the Stain between Roni and Keldon, was that the name?
Keldrin.
Grip is also intrigued by this Pier 19 business.
Mm-hmm. That's certainly an easy thing to start the day with since it's so close and you kind of have to pass it to go anywhere else. You want to pop by Pier 19, see what you see?
Let's check it out.
All right, you head into town, you go through the copse of trees, you pass the book layers, take a left. As you start heading into some of these smaller homes, you do notice, since you spent a little time here yesterday morning, sort of scouting out the murals, there's a new one today. Big, new, brilliant mural of a city made out of charcoal and yellow chalk.
When are they doing it?
Yeah, this looks like something that would take months.
Yeah.
The level of detail is...
And it appears overnight.
It seemed to have appeared overnight.
Did it replace one that was already there, or is this in a place that did not have one
No,
before?
a place that did not have one. It appears fresh in the morning. And when you as you sort of have been asking around about this appears to be the way of it. Like they will appear just out of nowhere overnight.
Detect magic on it?
No magic coming off of them.
A spellcraft check we could make, or a knowledge check.
No, because they're not magical.
Psychic
I touch it.
significance?
I touch it just to see if does it smear, like just a finger, or does it remain intact?
Yeah,
Last
you
time
touch
we
it.
touched a
It
painting.
does smear, and it does feel real, and you end up with
Like paint, or like
charcoal and chalk. Yeah,
Okay.
you end up with the grime of charcoal and chalk on your fingers. It's very tactile, and so it's not an illusion, and it's not something that has been sealed or
Right.
prevent.
I brush
You
it
saw
off.
one yesterday in the rain, kind of dripping, and
Right.
I
I brush the residue off my hand.
Yes.
Just in case it's poison.
you dream the dreams
Any
of the
psychic
chalk.
significance?
No psychic significance. No.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Do the murals depict different perspectives, or are they all from a similar perspective as you're looking at them?
They depict different perspectives, and even though it all feels like the same city, the more of these you look at, the architecture is completely different in each of them. As
These
though
are the worlds of Jamandor
places
made manifest.
places maybe have been pulled into, absorbed by.
A city of madness,
Yeah. And we're naming it now, aren't we? Let's say it.
designed by madmen to study madness.
And tentacles. Squishy bits.
Can't remember the name.
Carcosa.
I'm all for going to the pier.
Yeah, let's do it.
Agreed.
All right, we head down through those houses, which are not boarded up, but closed up, shutters closed. You don't really see signs of people moving about in this particular neighborhood. And you pass a couple of piers. You pass Pier 17 and 18, which are both near each other and seem to be, they're not currently being used, but they seem to be more well kempt. And you make your way down the shore through the mist and fog to a very lonely, weather-beaten, nasty old pier. Barnacle-covered posts holding up this sagging dock. There's like a single metal pail rusting at the end of the pier. There's a ramshackle, collapsed shack sitting at the edge of the water right near the pier. It looks like maybe an old bait house or something like that. So as you arrive there, there's no real houses close by. There's just this abandoned shack, and there's this pier sticking out into the water. And it's very quiet. It immediately looks incredibly creepy and unused. And there's probably still bloodstains from the murders that can't quite get washed out of the wood. So these barnacle-covered posts holding up this sagging dock still smeared with old blood, and this single rusted pail sitting kind of ominously out at the end of this dock.
Well, let's investigate this shack. This murder shack.
Heading to the shack? A quick toss-over reveals just an old, abandoned space. Nothing of interest, nothing left there. All personal belongings cleaned out. And it looks as though years and years ago. And, the roof is half caved in. There's only one story to this place, no basement. An unused space of once living space, now faded into decay.
Start searching around.
Give me a check.
29. Or 32 for trap finding.
Nothing to find inside the shack. It is definitely empty and bereft of significance or equipment. Or stuff.
So we'll search the pier.
Yeah, I'm going to walk out onto that fucking pier then.
All
In
right.
the bucket.
Grip's heading out first.
No. I will check for traps along the pier.
Okay. So Roni, then Grip, then Dora and Ray, the old
Dora
marching
and
order
Ray.
here.
The old Briarstone marching order.
Unless it's useful, since there is an underneath to a pier,
Yeah.
maybe it would be useful for me to stay on land and keep watch underneath the pier, since we know there are frogmen about.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you want to stay back at the base of the pier?
But, not right at the base of the pier, like off to one side, so I can see if anything's moving underneath it.
Sure.
I will stay with Dora.
With Dora? All right. So the pier is it's a little over 50 feet long. So Roni and Grip are heading out. Dora and Ray are standing off to the left side where they can get a view underneath. And you're checking for traps. You're checking for any difficulties or obstructions or dangerous bits there. Roni, what'd you get?
30.
Give me perception checks from Dora and Ray.
29.
15.
Stealth check 30.
This is fun. The two of you are in a place to see what attempts to ambush Roni and Grip. Because rather than all of you being on top of the pier, where it can emerge from the water and be unseen, you're off to the side, and you see a horrific mass of eyes, mouths, and teeth staring in all directions as it slithers out of the water, up one of the barnacle-covered posts, in the direction of the rest of the party. Everybody roll initiative. The two of you are going to get in a surprise round.
Oh, I'm aware of it.
Oh, wait, what did you roll?
29.
Yeah, both of you are aware of it. Both of you beat a stealth check.
I'm aware of it, so I can make a sense motive check.
Oh, yes.
Against DC 15 or 11 plus its bluff check.
Go ahead and roll that, Katie.
I got an 18.
So you get to add, what, +1 to your initiative?
Unless I couldn't have beat it by 5, so yeah.
All right. Let me bring you to a map.
I got to use my skill on that.
Yay! That's awesome.
Fucking gibbering mouther.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, that was worth it.
Dora.
6.
Ray.
8.
Oh, boy. Grip.
16.
There we go. Roni.
11.
It doesn't look like it has a mind.
No, it doesn't. Is 7 the number of shame points we should have now?
Yes. 5 plus half your level.
5 inspiration points. 4 grit points. 7 shame points.
Okay, so this hideous, 8-foot wide heap of gelatinous eyeballs, mouths, and teeth slides out of the water and climbs up this post, heading towards your friends in what is a surprise round here. Both Dora and Ray will be able to act, but they have now seen this creature.
Everyone get ready to roll.
We're going to check your sanity. The two of you give me a will save. You have now seen this creature.
24.
19.
You both succeed and take only 1 point of sanity damage.
Why are we in in this phase of the game now.
Bringing Dora up to 4 and Ray up to 2. Both of you took damage under your threshold, so you're still, for the moment, fine.
My threshold is much worse than everyone else's. Is that correct?
Your threshold is 0. If you take damage, you are getting madness, or you're getting thrust out of your...
Great.
Yes. And that is a byproduct of the total of your mental ability scores.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ray, your next act, you spot this creature moving up. You've got a single standard action or a move action to describe where you're at. So you are 25 feet from the base of the pier. At the moment, Roni and Grip are about 20 feet up the pier, and the creature is emerging about another 25 feet ahead of them. So you yourself are 70 feet away from this thing that's emerging at the very end of the pier, slithering up past the rusted pail sitting there.
Right. I'd like to drop and draw.
You're going to drop your
Morningstar
and
draw like crossbow.
draw your crossbow. Dora, you are up. You're standing right next to Ray, basically same positioning here.
Without even thinking about it,
Yeah.
Dora raises her hand. She summons the image of a bullseye
Oh, this is a new one.
and feels bored.
I love this.
Apathetic.
Uh-huh.
As magic missiles fly from her hand directly at the
Oh,
creature.
sweet. Missiles of pure force shoot out of her hands. What do they look like?
They're dark.
Uh-huh.
They're like glowing blood, like that lightsaber that Giancarlo Esposito had at the end of Boba Fett.
Oh,
Dark
yeah.
Oh no,
yeah.
Mandalorian. Wait,
Mandalorian.
one of those
Mandalorian.
shows. Yeah, yeah. They're dark. And after they go, she sort of looks at her hand like, "What the hell was that?"
How odd is it that we're a party of 5th level and Magic Missile has now appeared for the first
Very
time?
first time.
From us.
From us.
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
And you do know, you could, now that you know this, Dora, you can shoot them with impunity at Ray if you wish. Because he's got, he's got Ratchet's brooch.
Please enjoy.
So how many missiles do you shoot? You shoot, is it 3?
It looks like 3.
Because you're 5th level.
Yes, I am.
And how much total damage do these missiles, which strike unerringly, don't even need to make an attack roll?
9.
Total of 9 points of damage. It's phew, phew, phew. These dark missiles thrust into this squirming, shivering, hideous pile of mouths, teeth, and eyes.
Do we have any sense of if it took the damage?
It howls in pain and rage. It definitely seems to have been injured by
I
it.
hope it wasn't inviting us to tea beneath the pier.
All right. Now we're on round 1. And it
I
beats
swear to God, if we have to make sanity checks every round of this thing, I'm going to beat you.
It beat everybody's initiative. It has so many things it can do as free actions.
Talk to us, tell a joke.
Offer us a drink.
Does a little dance.
Have
Says,
some
"Hey,
hot
how you
dogs."
doing?" No. The first thing the Mouther does is emit this otherworldly cacophony of maddening sound. Everybody within 60 feet, which I think, thanks to the measurements we just did, doesn't include Dora and Ray. So both Roni and Grip need to give me a will save. Hey, Johnny,
Yep.
you are making a save against an ability of an aberration.
I get to
I
add
think
to
you get
that.
a special bonus for that.
Nice.
Grip,
13.
keeping that.
Yeah.
And Roni,
27.
you keeping that?
I'm never gonna figure out what the DC is if Grip doesn't make it.
Yes, I'm keeping that.
You both feel your minds slide into madness, but manage to fight the effect off. However, you do see it now, so go ahead and give me your sanity checks. This is a straight up will save. Johnny, I think you can add your Bane, foe of the what is it?
no.
Bane of something ability.
Yeah, my foe of the strange.
Uh-huh.
Add an additional +1 trait bonus versus extraordinary, spell-like, and supernatural abilities of aberrations.
That's what we're doing right now.
But I only got a 10, so I am going to. I'm gonna. No, I think I. No, I'm not. I'm gonna see what happens.
What about Grip?
Natural 1.
Jeez.
Rob's face is now in his hands.
Not great, Robert.
Okay.
Like, is this about to be a TPK?
No. It's one of those things where because I'm still adjusting to the sanity rules, I don't know them automatically, and we had a relatively few number of checks last book. I have to actually check this every single time. Okay, you do both fail. In this case, that means you both take 2 points of sanity damage, which in this case, still under Roni's threshold, and because of where Grip's at, it just basically means he's just adding on to the pile of sanity damage here.
So I'm at 5 now?
Yep.
What's the most I had last book? Was I...
You were at 6, maybe 7, 6 or
like
7.
right from the top, right?
Yeah, very, very early.
Instantly.
Welcome to the game. Take some sanity damage.
But so for right now, no noticeable effect from taking that?
No mechanical effects. This is the kind of thing where had you been dormant, you would become undormant. Since you are currently not dormant, you're just
still
Just
afraid
throw
of-
it on the pile.
And this is a byproduct of how we've decided to ease these rules up a little bit, right? At this point in book 2, Robert, Grip would have already had 2 more madnesses added to his pile if we were doing the existing rules. So, just know that.
Okay,
But
I know it.
not progress to a greater. Like, how does that happen?
No, he's got to get to. He has 5 sanity damage right now. When he hits his edge, which is 21, when he hits 21 points, then he goes into greater territory.
Okay, that's high, but you fail a lot.
Okay, so that's just one thing it can do as a free action.
Great. Are there more?
The next thing it does is one of its many, many, many mouths emits a stream of spittle at the closest target within 30 feet, which at this point is Roni. Is it in 30 feet? Yeah.
Oh, very, very much so.
Oh, 20 feet away from you. All right, here we go. Stream of acidic spittle coming your way. Does a 20 hit your flat-footed?
Yes.
Yes. The stuff gets in your eyes, Roni. Give me a fortitude save. It burns. It burns your face and your eyes.
Would this be considered poison?
No, this is not poison, but it is the ability of yet another ability of an aberration.
Is it acid?
Oh.
It is acid.
Oh, that's not good.
Might be relevant later.
Oh, yeah, right.
An 8. I got an 8.
8s usually fail things.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm gonna. Well, no, I've got all these different things. So let's see. You know what? We're gonna
Throw some
see if
points
we-
at this.
We're gonna throw some of our many
Resources,
piles
you
of
mean.
points.
Throw your resources at this encounter. Throw them all away!
Throw them away. All right, let's
First
see.
encounter of level 5.
So we can add. We can do a shame point, and then I'm going to spend 2 inspiration.
Throw it away!
That's right.
Burn it!
That's right. Oh man, all those resources. A 12. That's what I got. Wow. Garbage.
The acid gets in your eyes, and Roni is blinded. He cannot see. -2 penalty to armor class. Lose your dex to AC. -4 penalty on most strength and dexterity-based skill checks and opposed perception checks. You are in a bad state. You cannot see. It's burning at your eyes.
Very bad way to begin the day.
Is that the last of its reactions this round?
Oh, so it gets to take its real turn soon.
Now it can actually start its turn.
It was all very nice knowing you all.
Oh, okay. This is fun. So the way this ended up, the way this encounter is originally envisioned is that you're all kind of out at the end of the pier and it slips up and catches you by surprise. The way this fell down, it takes a double move, which just gets it to closing with Roni. Seems to be moving very, very slowly along the end of this pier.
So it's an ooze.
Well, no, we know it's an aberration.
Oh, those are different things?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so it has to use its entire turn, a double move, to get to close up with Roni. So it's 5 feet away from Roni, 10 feet away from Grip now, who's just a little diagonal 5-foot step behind Roni. Next up is Grip. It's not holding any bladed weapons, so that's good.
That's good. Thank you. There's not one in one of its many mouths.
No. So Robert may be shaken, but Grip is not.
All right, so it's time to start hitting. Does it look like?
It looks disgusting, loathsome, and hungry.
Does it look like something?
damage reduction?
Does it look like something? And you can tell me that this is a question that I shouldn't be asking, but that something that that a blade would damage, or does it look like something that a bludgeon would damage? Do I have any sense of that?
You've never in your life seen anything like this.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of rubbery, but it's also composed of eyes and mouths.
All right, then
Who knows what'll happen?
Grip's going to take a 5-foot step up to be shoulder to shoulder with Roni.
Who is just hollering and trying to wipe
he's
acidic
screaming
spittle out of his eyes.
His eyes are...
And I'm just going to unleash a Brawler's Flurry.
Here we go.
On the thing.
Fists?
Fists.
Alrighty.
Roll it up. 7 plus 7. Ooh, natural 20 on the first one.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
Back
it up.
For a 8, backed up with an 18.
You keeping that?
Yeah.
It does seem to appear as though, because this thing is amorphous, has no front or back, and no actual anatomy, that it's not subject to critical hits. But you did land a blow.
Fine. So that's
a freebie for you. There's an ability it's got.
I'm going to roll the second attack real quick just to get that. That's not going to do it. That's going to be a 15.
Oh.
I'm going to use a point on that.
How shameful do you feel that you let your pal
A
get
little.
blinded?
So 17. 17.
That's a miss. It slurps out of the way.
So I get the first one for...
Oh no, you probably touch it. It's just you bounce harmlessly off of a wet, slimy eyeball.
AC 18.
For a total of 7 points of damage.
Which it does indeed seem to take, as far as you can tell. It rebounds. Maybe you puncture an eyeball. Yes! Eyeball goo all over your hands.
Nice.
Roni is up next. Roni is blind. What does Roni do?
I think that the very first thing that Roni would do is probably try to step away from it. So he's going to take a 5-foot step away.
Backwards. Nice. Done and done.
Doors on the beach yelling, "Can I hurt it with mind-affecting effects?"
And then he's going to probably blindly take his... Okay, no, the next thing he would do is he would try to make a knowledge check.
On what he's seen?
On what he saw just before the spittle blinded him and he couldn't see anything else.
That would be a dungeoneering check.
That is a 21.
Disgusting, loathsome, and hungry. These are the only words that properly describe these creatures. They are foul things that lurk in underground sewers, caves, and nightmares. They have no societal, ecological, or religious significance, other than their ability to drive those that listen to them mad. Some scholars believe that they are a lesser variant of much more dangerous, perhaps, great old ones, while others theorize that they are a punishment by some powerful being or deity upon those who have offended it. Okay, so we know that they're amorphous. They're not going to take critical hits. What else? What other kind of information are you interested in, Johnny? I'll veer that direction. You know that their spittle can blind you. You know that they can emit a cacophony of maddening sound.
My first thought would be, is there any easy way to hurt it? Like, does it have any kind of susceptibility to anything, any kind of, like, weakness, anything like that? Okay. That would be the first thing that I would think, and then if that's not a thing, probably, does it have, what are its physical attacks, since we've seen its non-physical attacks?
So as Roni's racking his brain to think about what possible vulnerabilities or offensive capability this creature might have, he does recall knowledge that these things do possess... They don't have any vulnerabilities to damage, but they do possess some damage reduction that can only be overcome by bludgeoning weapons. Good choice there, Robert. And he does know that they make 6 bite attacks per round. And that each and every one of those has the capacity to latch on and start draining your blood.
Oh, no.
Yes, sir. Roni's got another action left. What do you do?
I would definitely...
That was just a 5-foot step, so you got... What do you want to do?
I would want to give that information to everybody.
Yeah, sure.
Grip especially. And then... oh, God. I'm like literally right on the edge of this pier.
Yes.
I can
behind
no
Grip,
longer move because I took a 5-foot step, right?
Right. With your left foot, you can feel the edge of this ramshackle, collapsing old dock.
I will, as a standard action, I will drink an extract.
Ooh. What happens?
My shield pops up.
Nice. Everybody recognizes the sight of that. End of your turn there.
I can't move, and I don't have anything to do for a move action right now. So yeah, that's my.
All right. So Ronnie's hanging back, drinking an extract and yelling out information about the Mouther as we move to Ray's turn. Ray, at this point, is 55 feet away from the creature, but both Roni and Grip are standing between you, providing some cover there.
And Ray just heard that bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
Not piercing.
Yep.
So I'm going to replace again my crossbow back with my Morningstar.
Drop the crossbow and pick up the Morningstar. Yep.
Which does bludgeoning and piercing.
Okay.
And take a move action. 20 feet.
Ray is moving closer to the madness and 6 attacks per round, leaving Dora standing alone on the beach by herself.
You can get 5 feet more forward if you wanted to, Paul.
Thanks, Johnny.
Here at the end of the turn, it's Dora. Dora is 50 feet away from the creature. Ray is hustling towards the base of the dock, Morningstar in hand. Roni and Grip are between you and the creature. Roni's writhing in blinded agony, and Grip is hunkered down in combat mode.
I guess I do have a question. Is there any kind of move action that I would be able to take to have wiped my face or done anything? Is there any kind of, or is this just a rounds per?
As it seems as though Roni attempts to do that, he's not making headway.
Got it.
With that means it seems to be just burning away at a certain rate.
Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
What does Dora do?
Tima,
Oh,
have you ever
yes.
seen one of these before?
She asks herself. I'm going to use my possessed trait to make a knowledge check.
Alrighty.
But before I do that, how does this work? If I make a high enough check, can I get different information, or
Yes.
is it a ranking of information?
I will never shaft you in that way.
Okay.
There's so many,
many other ways.
There's so many ways I want to make your lives miserable, but I won't. I will always make that useful to you.
Thank you.
Presuming you succeed, of course.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Because
Right.
it's just an intelligence check for me, no ranks.
But we did see you get a 23 intelligence check last session, I think. Wasn't that?
Wasted it.
Throw your intelligence
okay,
checks
21.
away.
Hey.
Hey! Well, that's damn good.
Is it immune to mind affecting effects?
As far as Dora knows, as far as Tima remembers, oh, she's dealt with these before. They have minds, and those minds can be damaged. You also know.
I have specific questions if it helps.
What's your question?
Well, I have a thing that will suppress some of its abilities if they're spell-like or extraordinary. It has demonstrated a ton of free actions. I can't do anything about its bite, but if maybe I can stop it from screaming or spitting or doing those things that will change what I do next.
What kind of actions can you suppress?
I can suppress. If I succeed. Skill ranks, spells known, spells prepared, and activated feats, as well as its extraordinary, supernatural, and spell-like abilities. I'm guessing that it might be wasted on this creature, but
No, you're guessing it would be useful against every single thing it has. This is so. What Tima knows. Let me fill you in this way.
Yeah.
What Tima knows is this is not a creature that casts spells. It does have a mind, but it doesn't cast spells. But everything it does with its body, including the number of attacks it takes, the way it engulfs you and drains blood, these are all extraordinary abilities.
Right.
And the screaming and hollering it can do to wreck your minds is a supernatural ability.
fantastic.
Hey, for once,
Yeah.
the ooze-like creature
Paid off.
is.
Wow.
I have but one question that I have to ask myself.
Do you feel lucky?
Who is going to cast this spell? Team is so excited about knowing this thing and having a shot at it.
Let me out. I can take care of it.
Dora wants to show trust, wants to establish a rapport. This may be a huge mistake, but she's confident she can get control back.
Okay.
She lets Tima out.
Alrighty.
It's a swift action. And Tima cackles and casts Mental Block.
Wow, this is a new spell, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so give me the whole rundown here so I can.
She
process it.
imagines the slamming of a giant book shut with a loud noise.
What book?
The Chain of Knights.
Okay. Doesn't have to be. I'm just curious if it is.
No, it is.
Okay.
Tima also knows that we've been studying the Chain of Knights.
It's Good Night Moon.
This is a will
'cause
save.
it could also be. Oh, let me give you something. Let me
Okay,
give you
yeah.
one.
If it's not the Chain of Knights, I don't care. So please give me something.
It is the rotting, urine-covered spellbook in Gull's haversack.
Not gulls.
In Roni's haversack.
Yeah,
From before it was ever ruined, in pristine condition.
And I bet magic missile is in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
Tima
Tima.
pictures her spellbook.
Yeah. This is Tima.
Yeah.
So the DC is 1 higher, and it's a divination spell. So the DC is 1 higher than that.
Nice.
And this is a will save.
And tell me what it does again.
You block access to the target's procedural memories, preventing it from drawing upon its experience and expertise. The target loses all skill ranks, spells known, spells prepared, and activated feats, as well as its extraordinary supernatural and spell-like abilities. Each round, at the end of the target's turn, the target can attempt another will save to end this effect.
God, that's fucking bonkers.
The only sad part about
That's
using,
intense.
Yeah. The only sad part about using this spell is that it doesn't cause damage. So I can't demonstrate that Tima's bleed has gotten stronger. But
Something
also,
else happens, though.
Yeah, now Tima is out. I need to roll a D100.
Mm-hmm.
God, I withheld all of this stuff at the end of last session, and like literally everything is coming out at one. She rolls a 26.
This is such a cool ability.
Tima's skin becomes rubbery, a little bit like the gibbering mouthers. She gains DR5 bludgeoning as long as she is manifesting.
Nice.
Wow.
That is so cool. All right, so I'm making a will save. 12.
It fails. So
Tima has just inserted herself into the mind of the Mouther and blocked off its ability to do everything on this gigantic sheet that you see right here. Do you see how many abilities this thing has?
I do. Many
It
of them are
can't
highlighted.
do any of them at the moment. Wow. Holy crap. So it gets...
Does that include its attacks? Like its physical attacks?
It can take its physical attacks, but it can't then...
do the latch on or the.
It can't do the blood drain. It can't do the engulf. It can't do the grab.
You got 5 rounds, boys.
Well, it gets a save at the end of each turn.
yeah,
So,
but she,
my breakthrough. She doesn't know
feels
that.
confident.
You might have 5 rounds.
Up to 5 rounds.
35 seconds, maybe.
Okay, so we are in round 2. It is the Mouther's turn. It gets a save at the end of its turn. So it's stuck in this situation, completely confused. Oh.
Oh, you found one.
No. No, this is actually good for you. I wonder how this would manifest. So what you see is, as this spell takes hold, Grip, you see that all of the thousands of eyeballs which had been pointing in all directions at once, kind of like zoom, lock in on you as it's kind of looking omnidirectionally like a normal person might have to do. And it seems to lose some of its softness and shapelessness as it kind of hardens a bit. And
It can be crit.
seems a little less amorphous than it had been before. This
Like
is,
it might have discernible anatomy.
like this is wild.
That's amazing.
Okay, so it can't do anything special with its attacks, but it still does have 6 attacks. Here we go. 26.
Hit.
It can't grab. Okay. 4 points of damage. 18.
Miss.
Miss. 22.
Hit.
4 more points of damage. Natural 20. Backed up with a 15.
Miss on the backup.
Regular hit. 1 point of damage. Last attack. Miss. All right, a flurry of tentacles explodes out of this goo-like creature, hitting Grip a whole number of times, but not actually seeming to hit super hard. Grip kind of just weathers the storm, as if the main benefit of making these attacks is to do something else that it can no longer do. Reaching the end of its turn, it attempts a will save to end this effect. Natural 1.
And I can never try again.
Oh,
Just leave the spell alone. The perfect iteration has happened. Grip, you are up.
I'm gonna do what I did before.
Do it.
I'm gonna hit it. Blawlers?
Blaller's Fury.
I think
Blaller's Fury.
Tima gave him combat advice with "You got 5 rounds, boys," with her move action.
Oh, very well. You've got some
So that's a +1.
You're on a
2.
You're on a ticking clock, and you know it.
All right.
And Tima has helped you recognize that the state that it's currently in, it's got to be dealt with quickly.
So that's a +8.
Give you +2 bonus to your attack.
Natural 1 on the first one.
Oh, thanks for playing.
Second one, no.
Oh,
Miss.
Grip is too flabbergasted by this creature.
You're never getting Tima's combat advice again.
I'd like to believe that.
Never.
Roni, you're up. You're still blind.
In terms of being blinded, it doesn't change my movement speed, though, does it?
You have to move half speed.
Half speed.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I will still move half speed then, and I will move myself 15 feet back.
So, Ray, as you're approaching from the base of the pier here, you see Roni staggering and stumbling, blinded, back towards you.
And then with my standard action, I'm going to blindly, remembering where it was,
Don't hit Grip.
try to shoot at it.
Roni doesn't know that it hasn't moved.
That's right. I mean, literally, I am thinking that there's no reason why it would have moved because
of where it was
Grip
situated?
right there.
Yeah.
So that is I'm not trying to game the system. I'm literally just thinking like it was there.
Bang.
I can still hear it like chomping and gibbering.
Take a shot.
I would take a shot. I probably won't hit because there's like going to be a bajillion things off on it. But we'll see. 17. -4, 13.
And the -4 because you're firing into melee.
Yep.
Great. Any shame to go along with that?
Nope. That's what I'm spending.
All right. In order to ensure that he doesn't blast Grip in the back of the head, the shot does miss. That's a move. That's a standard.
So touch attack 13 misses.
Oh, it's a touch attack.
Yeah, it's within range.
Thank you for reminding me. That is potentially a hit. Let me check concealment. Oh, all right. Hey, you got it.
Hey, all right.
Wow.
I'll take it.
That spell is literally shut down mouther, is what the spell should be named.
6 points of
Oh.
bludgeoning and piercing damage.
And it does seem to indeed take all of that. Ray, you're up. Roni is stumbling back the pier, firing blindly at the creature. Landed a shot. You're only 15 feet away from Roni now.
Grip, how much damage did you take?
I took 9 points of damage.
You get 5 back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And
Grip's wounds close up as Ray takes on the pain.
and it's like Ray kind of. I'm starting to think about this lifelink a little bit, but I feel like there's kind of a clenching as he like feels that life force get taken out of him.
Yeah.
And looking at the gibbering, this aberration, Ray reaches out towards it, willing it to stay where it is, and the shadows around the gibbering mouther seem to climb up it tenderly and grip onto it.
Nice.
So the gibbering mouther's own shadow seems to be trying to hold on to it.
And what is this spell?
This is Shadow Trap.
Sweet.
It's a will save.
14?
That's the DC is 14.
Oh, then it does save. It hits the DC.
Okay.
All right, so the creature's shadows fight off the shadows that you summon to attempt to pin it to its location, fighting off that effect for the moment, but only just barely. Nice. You taking a move?
I'm going to walk up to Roni's side.
Excellent. Dora, you're up here at the end of the round.
Tima strolls over to here.
Strolls over to the base of the pier, 35 feet away from the mouther.
Which is close distance.
Roni and Ray standing between you and the creature.
Now that she knows there's a mind in there, she's gonna tear it to shreds.
Yeah.
It can't do anything. It's humiliated. It's useless.
Disgusting.
Nipping away at the big half orc. Looking
Waste of
foolish.
flesh.
Dumb. This is Mind Thrust 2.
All right.
And she's summoning all the cruelty she's got.
Oh my god. This is the worst a mouther has ever done in any combat ever in the history of time. That's a fail. I rolled a 2 on the die.
23 points of damage plus 2 bleed. Which it might not usually take, but maybe now with its shit suppressed.
And with that, it completely uncoalesces and turns into a heap of eyeballs, which quickly start to just rot and fade away, leaving a steaming, disgusting, filthy mess on this pier. And that's the end of chapter 45. We'll pick up right here next time.
It's a good thing we were there to help Dora or Timo with that battle.
All right, we'll see you next week. Dark Nexus is a creation of Plug and Hum Productions. This podcast uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Incorporated, which are used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo Inc. For more information about Paizo's community use policy, please visit paizo.com/communityuse. And for more information about Paizo and Paizo products, please visit paizo.com. That's PAIZO.com. Dark Nexus uses music and soundscapes by Sirenscape. Check them out at sirenscape.com. That's SYRINSCAPE.com. Opening and closing themes, along with additional music, composed by Rob Kauzlaric. Artwork for Dark Nexus is by Matt Wahlquist. Special thanks to Toy, without whose generosity this project would not have been possible. And thanks to DMCP, Richard and Ari, Paul and Shannon, Chris, Scotty, Jason, Jess, Joe, Chelsea, Matt, Dave, Darren, and everyone we've gamed with over the years for all the memories and inspiration.
WTPK.
Oh,
Brilliant. Love it.
Tag.
That was
Season
good.
2 tag.